Hey everyone, it's Veiled Shot back at another video, and we're back on someone else's account here. It's ChitSuntz account, and we're going to be trying to do some Ash 12, some Tulpa 12. It's already got Queen 12 kind of on lockdown, so we're not going to mess with that comp here, but we're going to try to transition to some other dungeons. That's why I'm on the right side here, because I want to let you all see the gearing process. He's got some really cool characters to play with. Got Tiara, Nathalia. It's going to be a little tricky to move into Ash 12, though, because we do not have an Ascension 2 Nathalia here. So that's definitely going to be rough going. But we're going to try, and I'm going to go ahead and try to build the Ice Wolf comp here on this account, and we'll see how it goes. We may not have enough damage with our Nathalia, but we're definitely going to try. And if you do enjoy these account takeovers, be sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and if you want your own account taken over, be sure to message me on Discord. Links are in the description down below. So let's go ahead and build out Nathalia first. Sandus is already built out. She's at a decent speed number, so that's completely fine. We need, the way this is going to work is we need Nathalia to be slower than the boss, faster than the waves. We need Sandus to be the fastest, Mary to be the second fastest, and then Ice Wolf can be right after that. Right after Mary or right before. Usually it doesn't matter from some people that were telling me. I usually ran him right after Mary, but some people said that it was working right before Mary. So we're just going to build him right after Mary. It's going to make the gear requirement easier. Now, it is to be noted that Mary is on level 3 glyphs here, which is a little unfortunate, but we're going to definitely try to build up the comp here. And again, we don't have Nathalia Ascension 2, but we're going to try to build her out with our best damage dealing gear here. No curse set. We had curse set on Nathalia previously. I went ahead and just removed all the gear real quick, but we do not want curse set on Nathalia. So let's just see. This one's attack percent. It's got 12 speed, 24% crit rate. I did see this boot earlier. I was really excited about that. That's an amazing boot. We're really going to want crit damage here. We're going to really want crit damage. We want crit damage, crit rate. That's going to be what we want. It's going to be hard to do this without crit damage, crit rate. This one's crit rate speed. Okay, that's perfect. Let's hope this rolls crit rate. That's what we're hoping for. Let's go to 6 here. It's okay if it rolls into a bad stat once. It rolled crit rate, flat attack. That's good rolls. I'm okay with that. This may be the perfect piece that we want here. Roll flat attack. Again, we don't have many crit rate rings here, or crit damage rings with crit rate. So I am going to upgrade this to plus 12. Hopefully roll crit rate. Rolled speed. That's fine. That's pretty good. 127 speed. I think we're going to need a little bit more, but we can definitely just try this out real quick. So we're going to go attack, crit rate here. And this is going to be the most crit rate. This one has 11 speed. Wow. Okay. This one has 5% crit rate and crit damage. Okay, so this one might be better, but we need to make sure we have the crit rate to sustain that piece. So crit rate here, 17% crit rate, but 8 speed. Wow, okay, so we have a lot of the speed here on lockdown. Yeah, we have plenty of speed here, so we're just going to go with the highest crit rate. Oh, that one is 21. Okay, so this one's actually a really solid piece with a lot of damage on it, and we're going to need that. So we're going to see if we have any other really... Okay, so this one's an amazing piece as well. There's some really good damage dealer pieces here. So we're going to go crit rate here, 16% crit rate. Nice. We're going to go ahead and drop that. Crit rate over here. This one's 17% crit rate with 8 speed. So what's the better combination? Do we go with this one with 21% crit damage? And then we run an amulet with crit rate over here. Presumably this one here. That puts us at 127 speed. I think that's a little too slow. So let's just lock this in real quick and then just compare to the other one. So this would be the other build here. We would go with this, and that would give us pretty much the same stats, just a little bit more speed and minus 71 attack plus a little bit of HP. Let's go with this. I think this is going to be better overall, because not only that, but that's actually because we're at plus 12 weapon versus plus 13 weapon. So that's completely fine. I believe Zatluk's over here. Okay, never mind. He's way too fast. I thought it would fix the turnover for that, but it doesn't matter. Build out Nathalia here, and then we're going to go into the Ice Wolf and Mary. Mary is only at level 3 glyphs, so that might come into play. Probably not, but shouldn't be too big of a problem, to be honest. So we're going to go HP percent with speed, and we have this piece right here, and this piece, because this one's already upgraded. Let's just use this. HP percent with speed, hopefully. Okay, this one's got 5 speed. Cool. HP percent with speed. Let's just try this. This one's got 5 speed. Okay, and then we're going to go for a high speed piece here. Just, this one's got crit. I don't want to use this piece. Got crit damage and attack percentage. I like that piece. This one's got 10 speed. Okay, we're really close to a revival set. Let's get the revival set on her. That'll be nice. This one's got HP percent. It's got attack, crit rate. Okay, we don't want to use that one. We have a defense percentage piece. Okay, that's fine. And then we can run HP percent here. This one's got a revive. We want the revival set, so we're just going to run this. This one works. Focus, health, agility, it's cool. Revival set, we have 11k HP, 145 speed, perfect. And then we're going to need under 145 speed for Ice Wolf here. That's what our goal is. And a little bit above the HP number, above 1600. So that's at 140 speed. So we're really close, but not quite there. Let's go ahead and strip all that off. And then we're going to go ahead and just dump the glyphs on. These glyphs are really easy to farm. I don't really want to go above 2. Maybe if we have a lot of 3 or a lot of level 3 glyphs here that are plentiful, we can go ahead and drop those onto the Ice Wolf. But we do want them above a certain amount of HP because the bomb will go ahead and just hit Ice Wolf and explode your whole team, which will be extremely bad. Like this one's got 60, we can drop that. This one's got 130, we can drop that. This one's got plenty, we can drop that as well. The attack really won't help. The resistance really most likely won't help. So now we have 2400 HP, 79 speed, and then we go ahead and jump into here. We go for speed boots. This one's a Raider set. Perfect. That's fine. Then we go HP percent with speed. All right, maybe we go just a Raider set here. Where's Raider set? There it is. That's fine. And then Raider set, that is fine. We'll just run that one. It doesn't really matter. This one's got speed on it. What are we at? 135. Okay, so maybe we have to upgrade this piece here a little bit. This one is worth upgrading anyways, just a little bit. So let's go to, let's just see. I don't want to use any pieces that are potentially really, really solid. So we did roll speed. Okay, that's perfect. We're at 140. Interesting. Okay. So let's just see. Do we have any Raider sets here? This one's health percentage. Okay, let's run that. And then let's just see if we have any piece that has speed on it that isn't like already super, super solid. This one's solid, so we're not going to use that one. These have speed. Maybe we have an HP percent piece. And we have this one. Okay, so this puts us at 144 speed. That's perfect. And then we're going to look for any helmet here with HP percent or defense percent. This one's fine. 1200 HP. That puts us at 4.2k. Perfect speed. Okay, that should work. We're going to try this. Definitely going to try this. Sandus should be good enough. We may want a revival set on Sandus, to be honest, if we want her to survive for sure. But she has pretty solid stats on her. This is Queen. We don't want to go for Queen. We're going to go ahead and run Ash 11 here. This actually messes up the comp quite a bit typically, but maybe we should be fine. I'm not 100% sure on Ash 11, to be honest. May have to run this manual so that we can run the 12 on auto. Again, I'm not sure 100% on the stats for 11 here. Turn off Sandus's abilities. We still have everyone going. We're going to go ahead and put that invincibility up. And then we have Ice Wolf go. Nathalia is going to go. Clear out the wave. And then she's going to do the exact same thing the next wave. Looks like she's doing quite a bit of damage, but we need to make sure that this is 100% consistent. There's a couple of things that can make this lose. Nathalia getting the speed buff. That tends to be a problem for some people. Nathalia not getting a buff that's not attack buff can be a problem with some people. However, that will be significantly less of a problem because we do not have Ascension to Nathalia here. So it actually doesn't affect us that much, which is interesting. So we just need to make sure we have the damage right off the bat to be able to kill off the imps. If we do not, there's a very easy solution here. We just get our ChitSuntz here to go ahead and get Ascension 2 on Nathalia, which is not difficult, not super difficult. Crit damage up. Okay, so this is going to be a situation we're going to have a lot of damage. So we're going to see how much damage we're doing here. Okay. Okay, we actually did quite a bit of damage. Now, the question is that the damage we're going to be dealing when we don't have crit damage up? I am not sure. So definitely something to be watching out for. We do have Ascension 5 Sandus, which makes this much, much more consistent, which is good. So we're going to see here. All right. Okay. So this is Ash 11, remember. So even though we're killing the imps, we don't know if this is going to be 100% consistent on Ash 12. That's the important thing. Nathalia is looking a little bit squishy here as well. So that might be a problem. We got a curse proc there. So those all could be separate issues for failure here. But this is going to be a success for Ash 11 at least. So we're going to move on to Ash 12 here. And I'm going to go ahead and just jump into that real quick, and I'll bring you all over there. All right, so here's Ash 12, and luckily these Ice Wolf comp runs are like 1 minute, 32 minutes, so it's easy to kind of just watch it, talk through it, see what we're going to be failing on. But we definitely have some, again, as I said, there's a couple of crucial things that we need to pass. That is the damage on the imps, damage on the waves. Damage on the waves is easy. If you're killing the imps, you're going to kill the waves for sure. And so we need to make sure that if you have the Ascension 2 on Nathalia, a couple other ways it could fail, as I mentioned earlier, is a speed buff, but also Nathalia can give her a random stats up on her basic. And if that random stat up happens to be a buff that she already has, it can give you just that minor decrease in damage that you actually need to be able to clear out that imp. So here we are, we're at the boss fight. I decided to just skip ahead. And we're barely sure on killing off the imps here. We are 283 HP. Let's just check the other ones. 312 and where is this one? 344. Okay, so that is about how much damage we need to be doing. And you can see here, I'll just go ahead and let this play out. This is one of the things why you want to be able to kill off those imps. You'll see what happens here with the imps still alive. It is really rough, actually. So let's just see here. There goes the imps. They go ahead and hit you, and you lose your whole team. So you need to avoid that. You want the boss to take the damage from having the imps up, but then you don't want the imps to get a turn so they hit you and kill you. So I think we just have to go recheck Nathalia's gear. So let's go do that. So immediately there's a couple improvements we can make. This one's a plus 12. This is a plus 12, right? But let's just check out and see. These are most likely the best pieces that we have. Let's just see here. This one's 11% crit rate, 25% crit damage. I mean, let's just see. Do we have any like really solid crit damage pieces? This is 22% crit damage with 15% attack. Interesting. So, very interesting. This is, we want to stay in the warrior set though. So this gives us a little bit more attack, loses 1% crit rate, 5% crit damage. Not quite good enough here. So, honestly, probably nothing in the helmet category, because we kind of need to stay in the warrior set. This one's 16% crit damage. Not quite good enough. So, we might just need to upgrade this weapon here. What about the other crit rate pieces that we have? This gives us... There we go. Let's remove that. This is way extra damage. Interesting. So, if we were all able to get this... Let's just see here. This one's 7 speed, 15% crit rate. This is very close. Very close. Because if this was able to roll crit rate here... Yeah, this is very close. I think the safest bet here is just to plus 15 our current pieces. So, perhaps crit damage, but I think this weapon is a better piece. I mean... Not really, because the stats aren't like super amazing. It's a really solid piece for sure, but it's not like amazing stats. This one I'd much rather plus 15 because it rolled a lot of crit rate, crit damage. This one's crit rate, speed. Let's just see if there's any other piece here that we would rather upgrade. Warrior set is kind of what we want to stick to because we're got the warrior bonuses already. Okay, so maybe we plus 15 the crit damage ring because it's better overall than the weapon. I think that's what we're going to do here. This is a ring you'll use for a very long time. So I have no doubt about that. This one's attack percentage. You're not going to be using attack percentage rings anymore. This is crit rate with a guard set. We're going to keep that just in case you end up using Nathalia with a guard set. You're beyond 5-star pieces, in my opinion. I don't think you should be using them anymore. And there's a lot of 6-star pieces. These are 6-star attack rings. I'm going to just go through here and just kind of filter because we're going to need the extra stats. So I'm going to come back once we're getting through all this gear because we're running low on gear charms here. All right, so that's going to be the last piece. I wanted to carefully select the pieces because I don't want to just randomly feed a bunch of gear. And we ended up rolling flat attack, which is honestly probably the best roll that we could have hoped for in this scenario because we wanted just a little bit extra damage. So we got an extra 11% crit damage and a like 30 extra attack. So this could push us over the edge to be able to clear out the waves here, or the imps here, which is going to be very solid if it actually ends up working. And then we can move on to building out a Tulpa comp, possibly. Maybe we don't even need to swap gear around. Probably not going to be the case, but we could definitely try. For sure, 11. I think we could definitely beat 11, but maybe not 12. So just see if this works. I'm going to go ahead and skip ahead to the boss fight because that's really our only bottleneck right now. All right, so here we are on the boss fight, and again, the big bottleneck here, and this is what I say to a lot of people who are trying to run the Ice Wolf comp, is your Nathalia. You need the right speed on her, which isn't too bad, and you also need the right damage to kill off these imps. Ascension 2 Nathalia would immediately make this team viable, right? But we're trying to make it work right now without the Ascension 2. It is very, very difficult compared to having the Ascension 2, so keep that in mind. This is the perfect scenario. We just got the attack up buff, which is a buff that kind of gets overridden by your passive. So we just need to make sure we have enough damage here. And we do. That is a good sign. That is a very good sign that we're able to kill off those imps. That is a good sign. So gonna go ahead and have, there goes the invincible. There goes the counterattack buff. There goes the cannon. And then there's gonna be the counterattacks. Crit damage up. And we're going to kill off the rest of the imps here. Now, it's important to note this could fail in that specific scenario. Why? Well, because if you got double attack up buffs there, you would have had the ability to only hit an additional 2 imps, and then you take another hit from the imp, and if that imp kills you, you would have lost. So, perhaps a loss, perhaps not. It depends on how tanky your Nathalia is, but that is a victory for Ash 12, and that is awesome. I'm going to go ahead and send that to ChitSuntz here, and then I'll be right back to see what our next plan is. All right, so here we are. There's the jumping chest from Ash 12, and we're going to go ahead and build a Tulpa 12 comp, or at least attempt to. We're running a little bit lower on gear charms and gear in general, but we're going to try with a full fire team here with Siress, Orakh, Asrina, and Connor. I prefer Connor in this situation because we're not going to have the damage to go through at 100% really quickly, so Brand is going to get replaced by Connor because of Connor's heals. We're going to gear out Siress here because she's going to have 158 speed. So based on the gear we put on Siress is going to determine how much speed we actually need on our Connor. So first things first, we're going to go ahead and get this attack boots. I would prefer to keep these speed boots for someone else to make sure that they're going first or before the waves and before the boss. That's super, super important. And then we're going to look for a crit damage ring here. This one has speed as well, but we don't want that. This one has, okay, this one has crit rate. Maybe, what is our crit rate rings looking like? So we have a couple really solid crit rate rings. This has crit damage. This one has focused. So these rings actually will be really good on Asrina here. But let's see. This one's crit rate with precision. This one is crit damage. Okay, let's run this one. We're going to have Siress with some of the better gear because of her recent buffs and such. So that will be better. This one is crit rate. This one's going to be a warrior set. Okay, we want to get this to plus 12 minimum. Ooh, this is going to be difficult. We're not going to be using 5-star pieces anymore. I can just briefly glance at all the substats. I'm going to come back once we figure out what pieces we can upgrade to plus 12 this ring here, or this amulet here. All right, we're going to take this to plus 12 just because it's got this high crit rate roll. Hopefully roll crit rate. Roll resistance, that's fine. I really wanted it for the attack percentage at the top. Then we want crit rate here. We might get a curse set, maybe not. I don't really want to look for it, but this one's crit rate, crit damage. Let's go with that. I don't want a lot of speed on her. Remember, it's going to make gearing out Connor much more difficult. And let's go for crit rate here. This one's 12. This is the highest crit rate we can get. Interesting. So, okay, so we may want a little bit more crit rate from some other pieces. This is what we got here. And then we can go with something like this, maybe. And maybe we can upgrade this ring. Let's just see how many ring charms we have. We have no ring charms. Okay, so let's drop this one. This one's going to be overall better anyways, because a little bit more crit damage. 228% crit damage, 3,700 attack, almost 100% crit rate. We're probably going to need that 100% crit rate to make sure that this is 100% consistent. But now we can build up Connor because we're at 158 speed and we know how much speed we need. We can most likely run like HP percent boots here as long as they have some substats. Then we can go 8 attack percent ring with speed, hopefully. This one's got speed. This is the only time when attack percent ring really comes in handy from what I've found. But we're going to go ahead and just drop this. We're not going to use plus our 5-star pieces anymore. So we roll health, precision, whatever. Doesn't really matter. And then we can go health percent or attack percent here. Again, we don't want to use like some really solid pieces. We want to save those for our other characters. But we do want some attack on him because it's going to be hard to get the stats that we need. Whoop. Actually, we want that ring back. It's going to be, maybe we have a good HP percent piece actually. Let's just see. This one's 17% attack. Okay, so this is good. This is actually really solid. This one's hot. Wow, look at this piece. This is like a super good Desmond piece. I would love that. But let's go with this one. This one's got higher attack percentage. Well, actually, yeah, this one's got higher attack percentage. Let's go with this one. We actually have 3 pieces of revival set, which would be nice. We're gonna look for attack percentage here. With actually, we need speed for sure. So this one's health, attack percentage, crit damage, and 13 speed. Really, really fast there actually. And maybe we can go with a Raider set here at the last couple moments. We do not have good Raider pieces, it looks like. So maybe we try and go with a different ring here. Let's go attack percentage with speed. Because that is what we're already using. We might just need HP or speed boots here. So let's go with this. Let's just go with this. That way we don't have to worry about it. And then we can go with attack percentage. We don't even need this weapon here, but it's good. It's so great. So we're just going to use that unless we need it for someone else. Attack percentage here. This one's the revival set. It'll finish that off. Really, really solid attack percentage piece there. And then more attack percentage here. This one's focus. We're going to save that one. This one's high HP, high attack. This one's solid to put on Connor here. So we actually have a lot of crit damage. We have the revival set. 2700 attack. It's looking pretty good. What of our glyphs are over on Connor? Okay, so they're maxed out. That's important. And then we're going to go Orakh next. Orakh's next important in my opinion. What is the speed at? Let's just check here. So we're going to need a little bit of speed. So we're going to go attack percentage here. Definitely these boots here. We're going to go attack percentage over here. This one's got high speed. We're going to want that for Asrina here. We're going to go crit rate here. And this is probably going to be the best one. This one's got focus. This one's got... Okay, so maybe we go... Which one's better? 62 attack, 7% crit damage, or 44% attack, or 44 attack. So we may need the higher upside of the curse set ring here. But we're going to go with this warrior ring first. And then we're going to want speed on this weapon here. But maybe not that much speed, actually. Let's see. Crit rate. This one's 15%. Okay, so nice. 15% crit rate, a little bit of speed. That's perfect. Then we're going to go with crit rate here. This one's 10% crit rate. This one's a lot of crit rate, a lot of crit damage. Let's skip on that for now. We're going to look for crit rate over here. So this one is... I mean, none of these pieces are really excellent. This one has 11% focus. I'm tempted to save that for Asrina. Okay, and then we can go with crit damage here and just get the highest amount of crit damage possible. Preferably with a little bit of crit rate. This one's perfect. Perfect amount of crit chance, or crit rate here. 190% crit damage, 3700 attack with the perfect amount of speed. And then we go with Asrina here. And we're going to need a little bit of speed on her. She has some really low speed compared to Orakh. But we're going to go with these 12 warrior boots. And then we're going to go with crit rate ring here. Where was the one that we prefer? This one's perfect. Speed, crit rate, focus, crit damage. And then we can go with attack percent. And this one had the speed as well. Perfect. We're at 123. And we can even go with just higher crit rate here. This one's crit rate, crit damage. Okay, let's go with that. And then we can go here. Just the highest crit rate we can get. The absolute highest, and then that puts it at 53% focus, 86% crit rate, 205% crit damage. This is good. We don't even have the Ascension for her. This is just kind of surprising. Have we not summoned another one? Because this would help out Asrina quite a bit. I just want to check the covenants just to make sure. Okay, we already summoned our Asrina, so we're gonna go try this real quick. Again, I'm not 100% confident that we'll do Tulpa 12. I'm pretty confident we'll do Tulpa 11 though. So we're gonna try it here. And we're going to run defense down, sure. And then next person who's going to go is going to be Siress. So maybe run rage spell here. We may want the healing spell. We'll find out later. And as we can see, we actually are running the poison comp. So there's that. But I'm going to go ahead and drop this squad in. And I'm going to skip through the waves. Most of them, the waves are pretty bland and unimportant. We're going to definitely get through the waves. The question is, are we going to be able to kill the boss through the shield? I have not tested Tulpa too much since the previous changes to the shield. We're going to go boss first, and then if we need to change it to an ad second or first or whatever, we can do that later. So we're going to go ahead and skip it out of the boss here. All right, so here we are on the boss fight, and we actually had Siress and Connor go already. Siress, Connor, and Orakh. And Siress did not have her ultimate up quite yet, but Orakh and Connor just went ahead and went. Connor did not have his shields up either, so that's important information to note. But we're getting through the boss really, really quickly here. And as you can see in the bottom left, you can see everyone's going before the boss, and that's super, super important because we need at least 2 turns before, the boss goes to make sure we're getting through that shield. That's super, super important. So as we can see here, we could see that Orakh went, and the boss is under 50% HP, and all characters do not have their ults up for 2 or more cooldown turns, which means that their cooldowns will not be up while this shield is up. So we need to have the damage to kill off this shield before our ultimates even come back off cooldown. So that's super, super important, and it's going to be very, very tough to do. And that's why we change up the targeting order sometimes, because we want to make sure that those ultimates are up as soon as that shield pops up. And we want to do it on auto, obviously, because we don't want to sit here and farm dungeons manually. But we may have the damage here on Tulpa 11. So we may not have to change the targeting order here. And it looks like we will. So that's good. And it looks like we will survive so far, so I'm not too worried about that. And it looks like this will be a success. We're going to get the ultimates back off cooldown. Now, I do think that Sirus's ultimate cooldown's not fully maxed out. I think that the abilities are not fully maxed out on Siress. So that'll be a problem. I just noticed when I was looking through that. We're going to have to check Sirus's skills right after this because, as I said, I don't think they're maxed out. But this is a success. So we're going to go ahead and just jump to the menu when we have Siress and check out her abilities. So, as I suspected, her ultimate cooldown is significantly worse than I thought it was, and we're missing damage on her second skill and her third skill here. I noticed that her ultimate cooldown was really, really long. I was like, that's strange. So, we're definitely going to need to max those out if we're going to beat Tulpa 12, even remotely possible. We're going to run it. We're just going to see how it goes. I'm going to skip ahead to the boss. Not too worried about the waves, but we're just going to see how much damage we can do, even without Sirus's abilities max. Kind of makes me concerned for Asrina and Orakh as well, but I think their abilities are maxed out based on the cooldowns I saw. But we're going to go ahead and skip ahead to the boss fight and just see where we're at. Alright, so here we are on the boss fight, and Connor has the abilities back up. Siress has her ultimate back up and the rage spell. So she's going to go ahead and ult, do about 10 or 11% to the boss. Then Orakh's going to go do another, 17% to the boss. Asrina's going to go. Notice how all their ultimates are up from the boss fight. And so this can be a good thing and a bad thing. If you do too much damage with their ultimates right out the gate, you're going to get the boss under 50%, and your ultimates are not going to come back off cooldown before the shield pops. And I think that's exactly what's going to happen here. As you can see, we need to go not 1 more turn from them, but actually 2 more turns before the boss has a chance to put up that shield. And we're already going to be under 50% HP here. So this is most likely going to be a fail, because as you can see, the shield's going to pop. And we have 2 turns to get rid of it, but we only have only our basics. We're only going to have 1 turn of attack buff here. So this is where what we do is we change up the targeting order. We target the right ad, then the boss, or maybe the right, left, and then the boss, depending on how it goes, or maybe the left and then the boss, because this may completely kind of change the whole way the cooldowns are lining up with the boss's shield. And again, you need to max out Sirus's ability cooldowns most likely for us to even have a chance at clearing it. But this actually looks pretty good so far. Technically, with the recent buff to Siress, the only thing you're really missing out on is cooldown. You're actually not missing out on any damage from when we were previously able to complete it because they buffed her multipliers by 40%. So that was pretty cool. But you can see there's the shield, and everyone just dies because we didn't have the Asrina ult, we didn't have the Orakh ult, we didn't have the Siress ult. None of that was up. We can just let this play out because it's kind of fun to see Siress, but I think she's going to lose. So I'm going to go ahead and skip ahead and see if she actually ends up beating it. So she was definitely not able to solo it, but we're going to go ahead and run into the boss fight, or the Tulpa 12 again. Change the targeting order to the right ad and then the boss. See if that changes anything. It might be a success, it might not. I'm not 100% sure right now, but we're going to go ahead and try it, and then I will meet you at the boss fight. So here we are, we're on the boss fight, and we're just going to see how the ultimates line up. Siress is going to go ahead and use your second ability here. Orakh's going to go ahead and ult. And it's going to be all on that right ad. This will make the run much more safe because the right ad will be dead. And that'll decrease the counterattack damage occasionally, which will be really nice. Because sometimes with the counterattack with the defense down, one of your characters can just get one shot, which is a little unfortunate. But this way, you are definitely going to be much, much safer. And you can see we just burned out all of our ultimates, and the boss is at 77%. So now what we need to do is we need to do 27% more of the boss's HP before the 3-turn cooldown is up. So we need, I think it's going to be 3 turns, right? We're not missing anything. Okay, so 2 turns. We have 2 turns to make sure that we're getting through that at 73%. 2-turn cooldown, that's how much time we have. If we do it after we use the ultimate again, it literally doesn't change anything from the previous battle. So it's really, really important that we're going to be able to do that. And it may be getting a little close here. Like something like that might make the run a little RNG based because we just landed a defense down. Connor's going to go ahead and use the attack buff up. And we need to get the boss down to 50% this round, because if we don't, Orakh's going to go ahead and ult. And we need the Orakh ult to be able to go ahead and get through the shield. So there we go. There's the shield. This is good. Now we should have enough damage between Orakh and Asrina's ult to make sure that we're getting through the shield here. So there's the Rage Aura. It's going to come up right after the defense down. And then there's the Orakh ult. Go ahead and pop the shield. That's why we need Orakh ult up for the boss when the shield pops, because of that massive, massive shrew damage that he deals to the shield because of the boss's high max HP. So the shield's definitely going to go down here. I'm not too worried about that. Now the question is, can we kill the boss before the shield comes back up? Or if the shield comes back up, are we going to have the Orakh ult back up again? So we're going to see here. We do have the Siress ult coming back up because it's such an awkward cooldown number. But we should get another ult before the boss puts up the shield again. I'm not 100% sure. We'll find out. But I'm going to go ahead and just let this play out because I think this might be a success. But we'll see, I guess. 24%. We still need to kill off the boss. Perhaps not this turn, but the following turn, which I think is 100% doable here. Siress goes ahead and ult. There's that. Orakh basics. And then Asrina goes. And then the boss puts up the shield here. So this is the turn. We need to figure out if we're going to be able to go through the shield again. We just got resisted on the defense down. So you can see there's a little bit of RNG element to this run. So we definitely can't say that it's going to be 100% consistent with confidence. It could be, but there was a lot of resist. There was some lucky defense down. You know, it might be that it doesn't matter if that lands or doesn't, but you know, who knows? We have to run this quite a few more times. And there goes Asrina. So I think this is going to be a success, but there is definitely some RNG aspects to this that might cause us to fail, because all we need to do is do another 6% of the boss HP, and there's some ignites, so it might be 5% or something like that. But there we go. That's going to be Tulpa 12. We're going to have it on lockdown. There we go. Oh, just barely. Orakh's going to finish it off here. So there's Tulpa 12. I'm not 100% sure if that's 100% consistent. If you do swap Nathalia's gear and kind of distribute amongst the other characters, I think it could be 100% consistent, but you don't necessarily want to do that. Also, you know, you have Zatlux geared up, and I didn't want to remove the gear from there. But that's going to be Tulpa 12. That's going to be Ash 12. Again, if you max out Sirus's abilities, that might be 100% consistent as well. Not 100% sure. You'd have to run it a couple times, but that looks pretty good. And we geared up all the units, and we went ahead and beat all 3 of the main dungeons. Queen was already beaten, but Ash and Tulpa done. Again, Ash might not be 100% consistent. If you get the Ascension 2 and Nathalia, you absolutely will have 100% consistency there. Tulpa might not be 100% consistent. If you get the abilities maxed out on Siress, you will definitely have a better chance at that. But that's pretty good for being able to complete Ash 12 without an Ascension 2 Nathalia. Pretty excited about that. We were also limited on gear charms. So definitely feel like this was a pretty big success. If you did enjoy the account takeover, be sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and if you want one of your own, as I mentioned earlier in the video, message me on Discord. I will try to put you on the list and get you in as soon as possible. Thank you for watching, and I will see you for the next one.